I'm going to read a couple of quotes to you from a man by the name of Harry Anslinger, who was America's first drug czar from 1930 until 1962. Quote, marijuana is the most violence-causing drug in the history of mankind. You smoke a joint and you're likely to kill your brother. Or compare that to this, quote, marijuana causes pacifism and communist brainwashing, unquote. It seems that Anslinger felt that marijuana could be the cause of dramatically different results, depending on his purpose of the moment. Here's another one for you. Reefer makes darkies think they're as good as white men. Or the primary reason to outlaw marijuana is its effect on the degenerate races. This is a man who had direct and substantial influence on public policy. He laid the groundwork for the DEA and was the architect of the war on drugs. There is strong evidence that Anslinger actually saw the claims against cannabis as absurd fallacy, but used them to broaden the authority and reach of his fledgling agency. Now let's move forward to John Ehrlichman, who was Chief of Domestic Affairs for President Richard Nixon. This was a quote to a man who was writing an article for, I believe it was Salon magazine. Ehrlichman says, "You want to know what this was really all about? The Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies, the anti-war left and the black people. You understand what I'm saying? We knew we couldn't make it illegal to either be against the war or black, but getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did." Now, some have said that Ehrlichman was just kidding when he said those things, but isn't it strange that exactly what he said is what came to fruition? Now I'll read you something by Cyrus Vance, who is the Manhattan District Attorney. This is probably the most remarkable public statement by a law enforcement agent or officer that I've ever heard. He said this on July 21st of this year, 31st, excuse me. "Tomorrow our office will exit a system wherein smoking a joint can ruin your job, your college application, or your immigration status, but our advocacy will continue. I urge New York lawmakers to legalize and regulate marijuana once and for all. The needless criminalization of pot smoking frustrates this core mission, so we are removing ourselves from the equation. Our research has found virtually no public safety rationale for the ongoing arrest and prosecution of marijuana smoking, and no moral justification for the intolerable racial disparities that underlie enforcement."
Your time is up.
Please vote for the referendum.